ask quickly. We're not seeing a movement in the right direction with the numbers yet. Are you concerned that the current restrictions you have in Sydney right now are going to contain this outbreak, and why aren't we changing tack if it's not working?
Look, there's no doubt that the numbers aren't where we'd like them. I'm assuming because we had in the last 24 hours at least 29 of those 97 cases infectious in the community, that the numbers tomorrow will be greater than what we've seen today. Please know that every day, on an hourly basis, we receive ongoing reviews, or we make sure we review all the time the settings we have in place. If we need to go harder, of course we will, but we need to make sure that any measures that are put in place are going to hit the mark, are going to do the job we need them to do. Please know we review that every day. We've never, ever been afraid of taking those difficult decisions to keep our community safe, and we won't hesitate to do that even further.
What other hard options?
Well, this is again will be based on the health advice, but we know where the virus is concentrated. We know the type of situations where it's being transmitted. But the challenge we have is, as Dr. Chant said, what we're seeing today can be a reflection of what's occurred 2 weeks ago. So the data we've collected to date will give us good advice, good information on what we need to do. But please know, and can I make this send this really strong message to the people of our state, that we will not hesitate to take any decision we need to make sure those numbers go down. And those settings are reviewed on an ongoing basis, and the government will take action when we need to.
How close are we to that?
Well, look, again, what we need to do, what New South Wales has done is base our settings on the advice we've been given. And to date, we don't know of anybody who's transmitted or received or transmitted the virus whilst they're exercising, for example. However, we do know transmission has occurred in workplaces. And obviously, we know that the greatest number of transmissions are at the moment in households. So households and workplaces are where the transmission's occurring. But some of those workplaces are in health settings, in pharmacies, in supermarkets.
Any cases in those small retailers?
Well, obviously, as I've said, the vast majority of the cases. I'll ask Dr. Chant to answer that.
So sorry, and could I just actually say, with the very clear health advice is that you have to wear masks outdoors when you can't socially distance. I'm really pleased to see the vast majority of you wearing masks, and that's what we absolutely need to do. To reinforce it again, if you're going up to takeaway, even if that's open out to the outdoors, you need to wear masks, because you know you're not going to be able to control the movements of an individual. You can come into proximity, there can be crowding. So our mask order is to say, when you are walking alone in the bush, in the free air, where you're not going to come into contact, you don't need to wear a mask. But our strongest advice, and if we need to reflect this in the health order, is if you're in a situation where you're coming in contact with anyone or likely to, then you need to have a mask.